is going on, guys? It is your boy Seso here, bringing you guys a Photoshop tutorial here today, bringing you guys a cool little simplistic banner design tutorial. And I saw in the comments that you guys want like more of a gaming kind of thing, so I thought I'd show you guys a nice little color correction, a really cool I guess little text thing you can do for a lot. I do it for a lot of my gaming things just because the CC works out for me like very, very well. So I wanted to show you guys. Also, if you guys didn't actually know that you can actually have a bunch of you can find a bunch of like screenshots on like the main sites of like your game of choice. Like I usually say a lot that I get my pictures from Google, and I usually get a lot of my textures, or if I'm really just like looking for something like abstract like a mountain or something like that. Otherwise, you can find a lot of pictures of like, I don't know, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Overwatch is a pretty hype game right now, which I'm gonna be doing the tutorial around really easily, like really easily for like people like I think Call of Duty is under I think forums. But like things like for Overwatch, it's under media. It's pretty cool, right? Basically, I literally just go on the site and go under media. You get videos, and over here it has like screenshots. Pretty simple. So that's where I got the screenshots for this video. And just wondering, and just so you guys know, that's how I think this is the best way to get high quality pictures is try to find it on like the site itself. And like I said, Call of Duty has it. All those main freaking games that have like really good titles that sell a bunch, I'm pretty sure it'll have some nice screenshots that you don't have to only go on Google and find. So yeah. Just wanted to let you guys know, just in case you didn't know. I keep like not saying it, so I wanted to make sure you guys at least knew. Anyway, so as you can see the video here today, it looks very, very nice, very simple and clean, as you can tell, right? I love the text. I think the font or the text looks really, really good. And actually, this font is also apparently the official Overwatch font, which is like Big Noodle. I said it before, like in one of my other videos. Big Noodle tilting. That's or titling. Big Noodle Titling. This has to be a joke. This person is what? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna continue. I didn't say tilting. I thought it said something else. That's definitely tilting. Titling. I might. All right. So yeah, that's the font that I'm using. I'll put it in the description down below just in case you guys wanna get it yourselves and all that cool stuff. And like I said, I'm gonna be using the Overwatch screenshots. I have different ones. I'm gonna be using this one. Of course, as the other one, and then like this one right here, just like this. And I'm gonna show you guys how to make this really nice little seamless cut. It looks very, very clean, very action packed, whatever. The colors are great, and overall, like the CC, I guess how you build it will never really change. It's just gonna be like how you I don't know, fix it to make it something that you want more of. You know what I'm trying to say? Because like Call of Duty color schemes and Overwatch color schemes, there's a lot of gloom and stuff like that, and like Overwatch. So of course it's gonna be a little bit of a CC change if you're using a different game, but overall it's gonna be pretty dope. So I want to show you guys how to do it. All right. So to start this off, don't forget 200 likes on the video equals a signal down below, which is most likely the PSD of this video. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna be using this picture and another picture. I already have this cut out, so I'm gonna show you guys at least how to make a seamless, very seamless cut, which is actually really, really like interesting because I would say using two or multiple pictures or whatever, as many as you want, really, I don't know, in like I don't know how to say it, like in a clean aspect, like as you can, like you can't really, well, you can of course tell if you just knew, right, that this is a different picture than this picture right here, but it just flows. It flows very well throughout the banner design just because this is a seamless cut and it's cut along like a part where it's just, easy for your eye to just like kind of ignore, but not like a straight, just flat, like, I don't know, how would you say it? It's just not like this, is what I'm trying to say. This one. So it's not like this, right? And you didn't just like I guess rasterize it and like cut it. You didn't do this. You didn't like fade it or with the eraser. Yes, this is very simple and very fast, but in all honesty, if you're a person who does that, get rid of that. Get rid of it now. Get rid of that. This is not the way to do it. I promise you it'll look better if you just pen tool it out, and it's very, very simple to use the pen tool, and it's very, very simple to actually get the seamless cut. The way for it to work the best is, as you can see my picture here, right? Let's just say my picture was a little bit smaller, which it was, by the way. So let's say this is the picture, right? You have this picture, and basically you say, I want to get that nice seamless cut. Where do I get the seamless cut? So to be honest, you're probably going to be using some kind of character or some kind of hero, which is I'm using like Roadhog, and they got Zenyatta, right? I don't know. And then what's that guy's name? He's that toxic guy. What is his name? The Junkrat. Got it. Anyway. So yeah, if you want to figure out where you want to cut it out, so I'm going to just basically say, I want to make sure I cut out this guy right here, right? But I don't know where to cut out. Do I cut out here or whatever? All you really would do is just find the top and the bottom of the figure. So in this part, I believe the bottom will be his feet right here, right? That's where the bottom will usually be, right? So I'm just going to Control T, which is a free transform. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. And I can also hold Alt if I want to, which would probably be a better idea. But as you can see, I'm just going to try and measure, or at least not really measure, but just like hit the top of his gun here on the bottom of his shoe, and that's where I'm going to have my seamless cut. That's where I'm going to make the cut. So right here, this is good for me. Just like this. I have the seamless cut on the bottom, and then basically now I can just pen tool it only right here. Basically, it'll start from right here, a nice little start point, and then just go all the way around, just like so, until it gets to the top of the gun. And that's why I believe it's just so much more like a, I don't know, very powerful, very simple, and also makes your band look a lot more clean and quality-wise, and you want to make sure you take your time on stuff, right? So, all honestly, all you have to do is use P on your keyboard for the shortcut, which is right here, located right here as well, the pen tool, and pretty much you would just click, drag, to make new points, of course, 2 extended points. You can move them by holding Control and stuff like that, or you can hold Alt if you don't want like another curve. Like right now it's going to curve it because this extended point, as you can see, it curves it right here. But if I hold Alt, get rid of that one extended point that goes on like this side over here, and now when I go like this again, it will actually no longer be a curve. It'll just be a nice little point. It'll follow along where I went through. So pretty much, when you're penciling this out, just like take your time on it as much as you can. And you have to understand, when you're zoomed in this much, you're not really cutting out as much as you possibly think. Maybe you're cutting out a pixel or so, and it really won't be like a crazy, like, oh no, God, it's going to look awful. It's better than doing this. If you're one of these kind of people, you need to figure out how the pen tool works, and quickly, because if you do that and you cut it out, it's just going to look like you did that. And anyone who's a designer would be like, yo, what the hell is he doing? Yeah, don't do that, okay? So pretty much, you just go around, as soon as you finish it, you can basically get what I have here. And I just have it already cut out seamlessly. As you can see, I penciled it all around, and you can see it's not perfect. I did it pretty fast. It's not really perfect, but it did the job, and yeah, it really worked out for me. So I was fine with that, and there you can see, like right here, it looks seamless, and this looks like it's just fading out, and this is what I want. So when I put this one behind this, which is the other picture I'm going to use behind it, I don't actually have to cut out anything because it's just a picture that I want to like flow through the other picture here. So there we go. That's the pictures I'm going to be using, and that's how I set it up my example pictures here. That's how I set those up. So pretty much to get the color correction of this, it's pretty simple. I do have it here, so let's, oops, I just dropped my mic or my mouse. All right, so to do this, it's basically going to be exposure. So I'm going to start off with exposure. You guys already freaking know how much I love exposure. So for the settings for this, I'm just going to put it at 0.08. As for my offset, I'm going to go ahead and put 0.0095. And then for my gamma correction, I'm going to put 0.87. And there we go. So pretty much, I'm just gonna make sure, and this works best if you have any like, how do you say, like if you have like any weird picture that just have like a darker color scheme to it. I don't know if I have any pictures, but like let's just say like for instance, like maybe you did 2 different games. You have 2 different games. One is very more like a lot more darker than the other game, and you want to like make sure it looks like it's from the same, not really from the same game, or at least from like it's like one solid picture, right? You want like one solid poster. I don't know. You think about it like that. If I just turn this off, you can kind of tell like this has a little more of a, like an orangey tint, maybe a little more like vibrant than this one over here, as like it's like glowy or whatever than this one. But this right here kind of sets everything in one whole little motion, and that's why I use exposure a lot. I'm just making sure you guys understand why I'm using exposure for stuff like this. And for the second one, we're going to be using brightness and contrast. All this is located in the half circle area right here, and I just clicked on brightness and contrast, and now it's right here. And so pretty much for my brightness and contrast, I'm going to put this contrast, or my brightness, to about 5. And then for my contrast, I'm going to put it to about 50. And here we go. This is where you can kind of start messing around with your opacity. I'm going to lower my opacity down just like a little bit, just because I like how dark it's getting, but it's gonna change up in a second. I guarantee that. So I'm actually going to put this to 80. Just for now. You can always go back. I wouldn't just like, you can of course mess around with your contrast and brightness, but I would say at least go, don't go negative on your brightness too much, just because like, I don't know, you kind of want to have a lot of color, a lot of, just that action feel to it. So after brightness and contrast, I'm going to go ahead and go to vibrance, and that's located right over here. And we're pretty much going to go to, what, 10 vibrance, and then maybe like what, I don't really want to change the saturation really. Maybe like to 2. And we'll go ahead and slow the opacity down to this, to about 70 or so. Just a little bit more color. I don't know if you can tell really. but like if you look at his chest area over here, you can see it just gets a little, I just want a little more color to pop out. And so last but not least is one of my favorite things to do, and it's using the curve, and it's actually changing the RGB to blue. And I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take this first knob. I actually did this in my last tutorial, and it's just something I like used to hide a lot just because I just loved how it like looked. So I'm just going to let you guys know. This like gives a nice little blue tint. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to put this on multiply, and we're just going to lower the opacity down to maybe about what, 50%, or maybe even a little bit more, 30%. 30% will lower our brightness and contrast to maybe about 75. And that will do, that's pretty good right there. Alright, I'm down. Alright, so pretty much as you can see, the color correction is like pretty much complete. I can just go ahead and group this all together by shift clicking and then Control G. And as you can see here, the color correction is going to set this whole entire thing off. As you can see, like his hair, everything just looks more, you know, like cinematic. It just looks really good, and that's the whole thing about it. Like, I guess like a gaming banner or some kind of like game design banner. You want it to look as epic and cool as possible. So the CC works pretty well. All right, so pretty much now is we're just going to go ahead and just mess around with the background a little bit. Let's just do that then. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm done with everything, right? So I'm going to shift click on everything right here. Don't just imagine this is not here. I'm just going to leave it there just so I can make sure I use it for my secret download. But I'm just going to shift click on everything that you've done so far, right? And you want to copy it. So Control J, or right click copy layers or multiply layers. What is it? Right click, where is it? I don't know, just duplicate layers. There we go. But Control J is the easier way to do it. And then Control E is to merge it, or right click merge layers. So just merge them together, and now I basically have the entire picture in just one little frame now, or one little you know, layer. So basically I move this around, and it's all one thing, right? So pretty much what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use some really cool simple filters, and it's nothing you have to download or anything like that. It's in your thing, it should be at least. And we're going to be using filter, stylize, and then find edges. And we're just going to change this to divide. Divide is right here. Sweet. And then pretty much just lower my opacity down. And we're going to go ahead. And basically what I'm going to start doing to this is just to like kind of go into the banner design really quick. I'm just going to find, I'm not going to use a big eraser either. I'm just going to find spots that I feel like I want, like, you know, just eyes to capture. So I'm erasing a little bit over here. This is like something that's very, you know, technical. Like you can't really use the exact technique I'm using or erase the exact part I'm using unless you're using the same exact picture. But just think about what I'm doing. I erase a little bit over here. I'm erasing this effect. As you can see, the effect is on the chain right now. I'm erasing it so that it goes from, like, you know, being dull and just having like a lot of color on the end of the chain right here. And so pretty much I can go about this the entire way. Like I can have, like, I guess his gun nozzle being like a little bit like a little cool to fine edges. I can erase like near the inside so that only like the edges themselves of the picture or the figure is only, like, you know, glowy and stuff like that. And we're just gonna a little bit more. I don't really want his shoes. I really want the inside. See, like right here, this is the effect. I don't want it in here. I really don't at all. So I'm gonna erase it, and I'm just gonna like figure out some other spots. I think it's pretty okay everywhere else. Like maybe just around his body, and like so. All right. Yeah. Oh, and if you're also wondering, if you're like really scared of, or maybe a person who like goes back too much or whatever, the best way to erase is using this little layer right here. When you click on this, it gives you like a little nice little side little thumbnail, and it's gonna be white. For you to erase would actually, I think it's black to erase. So if I just like zoom in on the chain, I believe it's black to erase. Yeah. So when your foreground color is turned to black, right, and you're clicked on this little thing right here, this little white thumbnail that you clicked, or that you get after you click this little window right here. This I forgot what it's called, like masking layer. And pretty much when you click on with your black brush, you can see the white right here is turning black, which means it's erasing. And if I turn this back to white, this will give it the effect back, just like so. You can see like right here, it's back again. If I turn it to black, it's away. It's the best way. It's like, I'm making sure that I tell you guys this is like the obvious best way to erase. I don't do it in my tutorials a lot, but I want to let you guys know that please do that. It's gonna help you guys a lot, way more. Also, the same thing when cutting this out. That's why this is right here. I cut it out by just actually, I'll basically show you guys on this one. Let's just say, right, just so I make sure you guys don't miss anything, right? Let's just say I cut this out right here, right? I did this all perfect, and it was beautiful. And for me to cut this out, all I'm going to do is just make sure I click on this little layer here. I'm going to right-click, make selection, press OK, and then basically I can just, when my foreground color is black, solid black, I can just go to press Alt, backspace, and it would cut it out. So it's very simple, right? And then if I want to fill it back in, I take a white brush or a white pen tool, whatever you want to do to fill it, and you can just fill it back in just like so. Just so you guys know, that way, if you ever run into that issue, we are good there. Alright, so there we go. A little finding edges here, and it looks pretty good, right? It looks good so far. I'm going to do it one more time now. So basically, I'm going to shift-click on everything again, Control-J, Control-E to merge it all together, and I'm going to go ahead and go to Filter. We're going to go to Filter, and we're going to Filter Gallery. And so pretty much, I already have the settings set here. I used to do this a lot in my, like younger, you know, me going out making free banners for everyone kind of guy. Stylize and then glowing edges. It's working out for me just a little bit. It's just a little fun little thing to do since it is like a fun, like active, like really fun banner kind of thing. So glowing edges, my settings would be for the width edge is 1, edge brightness is 7, and then smoothness is 1. But of course you can change whatever the heck you guys want to. But those are the settings that I'm using. So I'm gonna press OK, and I'm gonna go ahead and just change this to lighten from normal to lighten, which is right here. And then basically, I'm just going to find some spots again where I kind of just want to have a little bit fun with the thing. So pretty much, I don't want really anything in the background here, so I'm going to make sure I erase that. Let me use this just in case. Alright, so I'm going to make sure I erase that stuff. I'll make sure I erase like some over here. I don't want this too much. Maybe like right here is fine. It just adds a little bit of fun, right? So something like that. Nothing really there, nothing really there. So yeah, it's tedious, but it also shows that a little bit more work is like thrown onto the banner. Like this is way too much, so I'm gonna erase that. This is way too much, it doesn't look right. And if you also want to, you can lower your opacity of the erase, just that when you erase thing, it's not like going away all like way too much. I don't really, you know, I don't know, like in the way I would use that. Maybe I would like use it, maybe on his hair. For a second, I just want to say like I want to erase this just a little bit. Go to my opacity in the eraser, drop it down. And then pretty much I would have to go through maybe like a couple swipes to really erase it. So that way, you know, you can kind of like get a little bit more of glow here if you want to. If not, put it at 100% and go back to erasing. So I'm going to say I like that. I'm going to do the same thing I did over here with the chain. So I'm just going to erase just a little bit. And then I'll go in here with a smaller opacity eraser. And we'll just erase them like that. I like Zenyatta's hand here. So I'm going to go ahead and just like, I don't know, maybe erase... not too much, but just click around. I don't want his arm being like that. I'll take his little cool little ball here being all glowy. Like that. I don't want that. So yeah, it's just like a little tedious stuff. But like in the long run, it looks really good. So all the shadows that have like this little line stuff, I would have to make sure I erase and don't forget. So yeah, something like that, like right here. You know, just like that. So pretty much you can go around and stuff. That's his eye, too much, right? Alright, maybe a little bit too much on this real hard stuff. But it just gives the banner a little bit more fun. That's like maybe you're just looking for. So if I just turn it off and on, as you can see, it just adds a little more stuff. And it doesn't look as boring. And it just doesn't look like a screenshot in the background. It's very simplistic, very easy to do. So pretty much now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and do the text really quick. So the text that I did for this was pretty dope. It was just a simple kind of like very simple thing. But it still looks pretty dope in my opinion. So... of course, I'm going to be using that font, the big noodle titling. What does that say? Like, am I like weird? That's definitely T-I-T. That's 100%. There's no way. All right. So I'm going to just type in Overwatch. And we're going to go ahead and make this a little more bigger, maybe like 15 or 16. For some reason, the H doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. And I'm just going to use the rules really quick just to line it up. Just like so. And I'm just going to make... watch a different color, which I'm probably just going to make it yellow. And we're just going to take Zenyatta's yellow and just do something like this. Just like so. Alright, so to get this really cool glowy kind of text, all I'm really going to do is just like, I'm going to, of course, have multiple text layers. So, the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to first start this off with a simple little, like, kind of like a how would you call it, like a motion blur. Basically exactly what I'm doing is using motion blur. So, motion blur. And of course, it's going to ask to rasterize the layer because it is a text. You just press OK. Before you do, though, make sure you make a duplicate of the text like I just did over here. As you can see, it's hidden right now. But I'm going to press OK. I will go ahead and 45 looks pretty good. So 45 distance on the pixels. Angle, just make sure it's at 0. And of course, if you preview, you can see it on and off. So OK. And then pretty much is going to be your base layer. I'm going to change this from normal to linear light. And where is it? Linear light. Just like so. And then when you're like when you're set up with your I guess your color correction, all that cool stuff in the background, it'll make it look really nice. So pretty much for the second layer, I'm going to go ahead and use linear, no, we're going to use darken color. Darken color, and we're going to go ahead and double click on this layer, and we're going to do some little strokes and stuff. So basically, I'm going to stroke now. I'm going to change this from stroke to 1. Just change it to 1, not 12, please 1. All right, and I'm going to color, make sure it's white. Press OK. I'm going to go to blend mode here, put it on overlay, and I'm going to go ahead and put on a nice little inner glow. And we're just going to make this just white. Press OK. And we're going to go ahead and press OK one more time. Actually, we're going to change this to overlay, actually. We're going to change it to overlay. After change to overlay, you can change your opacity. I think opacity 75 is pretty good, but just like a little bit of a color. Just like a hint of color, not completely white. So I just have it on yellow set here. And then pretty much you can just end it off maybe like a little gradient overlay. So putting this on overlay and then lower the opacity of this a little bit. We'll just give that little text, like it just pops it out very, very nice. You can see it looks pretty good so far. Not nearly as close as this, just because we're going to make sure we have to do something else now. I'm going to make a duplicate of this layer again, so Control J, and I'm going to clear all the layer styles, just like so. Right click on this and clear layer styles. That way it's white again. So pretty much now I'm going to go ahead and put one of these layers, which is the new layer that I just made, put this on overlay, and I'm going to go ahead and just load the opacity down maybe like 50% or so. And we're going to go in here, we're going to rasterize this first actually, rasterize it, and we're going to go in here and just simply using an eraser and just erase just a little bit, right there. So, oops, why is it erasing that? That's weird. I didn't mean to erase that. I meant to erase this. Just like so, just erasing some little areas. Just to make it look like some of it's filled and some of it's not filled. It looks pretty good there. I can go ahead and do it one more time. So I'm just going to duplicate this layer one more time. And I'm going to go ahead and clear it one more time. And we're just going to go ahead, write this one, and then put rasterize. And we're just going to go ahead and just erase it a little bit more. And pretty much as you do this, or if, I'm not really erasing in like certain spots or whatever, but if you want kind of like, I guess, one of you, like yourself, and you say to yourself, I kind of want the O and the, like the V to be like a little bit like shaded out or whatever, you can just erase where you want to erase. But right now, I just erased like that. That looks pretty good in my opinion. So pretty much now, I'm pretty much done with the text. I'm just going to type in banner design, right? And we're going to go ahead and just make it a little bit smaller and make this white. And here we go. Just going to do like that. Nice little subtext, right? And so pretty much now, I'm pretty much done with the banner design actually. What I can basically do now is just like little things, right? And of course, this can just be your start or whatever. But I'm going to be using a simple, nice light white brush right here. And I'm going to go ahead and make a nice little big size of a soft brush, using a soft brush. And we're just going to click one nice line on the top, just like so. Lower that down a bunch, maybe like 50. And then add one more brightness and contrast. We're going to go negative just a little bit. And just up a little bit on the contrast, maybe like to 15 or so. And there we pretty much go. Like there's our fun little simplistic kind of like what do we call it? Overwatch, in this case Overwatch gaming design banner. And if I ever want to go into it more, I had like this little thing on the bottom here. Oh, all these little glitches, and I can show you how to do that too actually. So pretty much what I did for the little bottom bar here was very, very simple. All I did was made a new layer, Control Shift N, or this little new layer down here. I'm gonna bring up my rulers really quickly. I set these rules up myself, and so pretty much I'm just gonna go ahead and click on that side, click down here, and then connect it. And then we're going to fill this with a color, and we're just doing that nice little yellow we had before. Press OK, delete the path, and we'll go ahead and just like, it looks good like that with a nice little solid white, but if I just want to flip through, maybe like multiply, which one is it that I really want? Let's just go with, this one doesn't look that bad at all. I like that. Linear light doesn't look bad. I'm going to keep it on linear light. I like linear light. Kind of like has a little fade through of like the little background. Looks good. So I'm down with linear light. That's what I did for the little bar on the bottom. And then for the little glitchy stuff, all I did was I did the same thing as before. I'm going to shift click on everything I've done so far. Control J, then Control E. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my M, which is my rectangle marquee tool, just like so. And we're just going to go ahead and do something like this. Basically, you hold shift to make new little boxes. I'm going to make nice little skinny boxes. I'm holding shift now. As you can see, my little crosshair has like a little plus sign next to it, or like basically another little crosshair. I'm going to keep doing this. Very simple. You don't have to do like, you know, measure it or whatever. It's better if it's probably like spontaneous and not like measured out. Just like fun little cuts here and there. Right? and then as many as you really want or whatever. But basically, when you're done, you right-click, you layer via cut. You can go ahead and get rid of this layer. You don't need it anymore. But basically now it's just going to be that one layer that has like something on it, but you can't really see unless you like move it. If I want to move it, you can see it's moved like that. That looks pretty cool. But what I'm going to do is when I do this, I'm going to change this from normal to dissolve, and we're going to go ahead and just lower the opacity down on the dissolve, and then we get some pretty cool little glitchy effect, and that is basically how I did it. So it's very simple stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know you guys wanted more something like this, so I gave it to you guys, and I appreciate it. I'm going to say thank you guys ahead of time because I know you guys are going to smash the like button. Like always, I really, really appreciate it. What are we at on the YouTubes, dude? We just hit, like, what? Last video we hit 45 or 54, right? And we're at 54.1. And we're... What the you guys are awesome. I really can't. You guys are really freaking sick. Thank you guys so much for the support. Honestly, do not get to check out my Selfie, actually. There's new stuff on my Selfie page. If you just go to selfie.com/SesoHQ, you get some pretty cool stuff and pre-mades and packs those $5. As you can see, all my new stuff is right here. I have a new cool little Overwatch themed pre-made revamp, which is basically like not really any pictures or something like that I had on today's video. Nothing like this, but it's more just something that looks like Overwatch if that makes any sense. I also added a cool little clean white pre-made. All this for $8. Very, very simple. It comes with the PSDs. Basically, if you opened up, you would just get this, right? All the layers will be named and stuff, and all you gotta do is like purchase it and change your stuff, and then it's yours to save it. And actually, if you don't know, actually, to save it, best quality, go to File, Save for Web, and you just go ahead and go to PNG24, and then everything's gonna be good for you. Once you're set to PNG24, that's what I save it as, and I press save. I don't know if this matters, I'm on optimize. I press save, and I'm good to go. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. Seso you out. Peace.